Hey, and welcome to my channel, Changing the Face of Fibromyalgia. I'm Jessica, and I want to do something a little bit different today. Instead of talking to those who suffer with fibromyalgia, autoimmune, and chronic pain, I want to talk to your loved ones, your family, your friends, the people that surround you every day that see you dealing with fibro, and they may not completely understand what you're going through. So I wanted to take a minute just to talk to your loved ones and let them know how we feel from our perspective and how they can help us cope with this illness. First of all, let me just say that dealing with fibromyalgia is a constant battle. It is like we wake up every day and go to war. We arm ourselves with tools that will help us with our pain, help us with our anxiety, help us just find some relief in the day. We also have to plan out each day carefully about what we're going to do today and what we're not going to do today. And there is reasonings behind that. We deal with a pain that is relentless. It never stops. There is not 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day without pain. It is constant. If we have a smile on our face, we're in pain. If we're quiet, we're in pain. If we're still, we're in pain. If we're doing chores, running errands, spending time with family and friends, we're in pain. Some days are better than other days, but most days we are living by the pain scale, 1 through 10. What is your number today? The pain feels very different at times. A lot of the times it feels like our skin has a major sunburn. Like it just feels raw and it hurts to touch it. There's other areas on our body that we call trigger points, and those trigger points, when you push on them, feels like a massive contusion, a massive bruise. It hurts to even rub your finger across it. There is the pain where we feel like we're throbbing on the inside, like everything is alive inside and it's pulsating, and it makes your body feel like it's going to explode. Then there's the flu-like symptoms where every joint hurts and our fingers may get stiff and lock up, our toes may get stiff and lock up, and it's very difficult to make even the slightest of movements. That's the physical pain that we feel, along with several other symptoms that are physical, like we feel like somebody is zapping us with electricity in certain parts of our body. We have massive headaches and migraines. We have light and hearing sensitivity, where the light hurts us just to even look at the smallest of light. Even sometimes our cell phone light is way, way too bright. Loud noises startle us. We're constantly in fight or flight mode every day. We live on the edge every single day, basically by our fingertips, holding on, waiting for the next day to arrive. And not only do we have physical symptoms, but we have insomnia. We don't sleep well. There's not a night that goes by that we have a quality 6 to 8 hours of sleep. We're lucky if we get 2 consecutively. We fall asleep, then we wake up and we're up for hours. We fall back asleep, we're up for hours. And when you're up and awake, you are aware of your pain. And that just makes it even more miserable because you don't even get peace with sleep because there is no sleep to be had. We deal with anxiety, depression. We deal with facial pain. We deal with rashes on our skin. We deal with tooth decay. We deal with itchy skin, very bloated stomach, diarrhea, constipation. And these are not symptoms that come and go. These are symptoms that stay with us every single day. And we cope the best way that we know how to. Your loved one with fibromyalgia also is very frustrated. They're frustrated because they don't feel like they're heard or they're listened to by doctors, family, or friends. And it can be very frustrating for you, the loved one, as well, because you don't know what to say and you don't know how to help that person. If you're like me, I'm a fixer. My husband is a fixer. He wants to fix everything. Just turns out he can't fix this, so he gets very frustrated, and I get frustrated because I just want somebody to give me the right answers and to help me in my journey. So we feel very alone, we feel very isolated because our family and friends don't understand the illness. Um, we just want a little bit of understanding. We need support in many, many, many different ways. So we deal with the physical pain, the mental anguish, and the emotional anguish. And I think that the mental and emotional can be the worst. You would think pain would be the worst, but I don't think so. I think it's the depression, the anxiety. We are mourning who we used to be. We want that back so badly. We remember our vibrant young self, or we remember what we used to be able to do that we can't do anymore, because the simplest of tasks can be monumental with somebody with fibromyalgia. Running to the grocery store sounds like a simple task. However, it takes a person with fibromyalgia to work up the courage and the strength just to get their shoes on, get in the car, and get to the grocery store. Never mind, get in the grocery store, get what we need, get it back to the car, get it home, and get it back inside. It's a monumental feat in itself. Whereas you may see it as you're just going to the store. It's not that big of a deal. But to someone with fibromyalgia, it feels like we are walking uphill and pushing a boulder at the same time. And we just roll right back down the hill and then push the boulder some more and then roll right back down the hill. There is never a progression of, oh, I conquered that hill. Tomorrow I can conquer tomorrow. It's always a battle. It's always a war. And not only do we live with the battle, but we live with feeling like we are a burden to you, because we can no longer do what we used to do, and we depend heavily on those around us to help. And we feel like a burden. We feel like a letdown. We don't feel worthy, and we live with this every day. It doesn't go away. No matter how long we've been living with fibromyalgia, that doesn't go away. The more our family and friends have to do for us, the more of a burden we feel. And maybe you're asking, what can I do to help my loved one not feel like a burden? You just simply tell them. You just simply say, I love you, and you can't help what you're going through. You weren't given a choice. You're not a burden. I love you. I'm here for you. What can I do? Because the simple matter is, when you ask your loved one who lives with fibromyalgia how they're doing for that day, more than likely you're going to get this answer: I'm fine. And we give this answer because I'm fine is easier to say than the huge long explanation of all the symptoms we're experiencing in that day and how we're feeling emotionally and mentally. So we just say, I'm fine, and we smile through it. We also don't want to worry you, so we just say, I'm fine. Or we feel like we sound like a broken record every day telling you what our pain is like, so we just say, I'm fine, because we don't want to sound like a broken record. We also don't want to sound like a hypochondriac when we tell you, oh, I've got this new symptom and I don't know what it is and it's just very strange to me. We feel like sometimes we're going crazy, and we have doctors who sometimes suggest that it's all in our head. And the last thing we need is family and friends to do the same thing, because it's not in our heads. It is a true, real illness that needs attention. So many people are suffering with this illness, and doctors, even though there's answers out there, the majority of the doctors do not recognize those answers. So we get frustrated in that sense as well. There are days that, like I said, are better than others. Some days it's going to look like, hey, they're doing great, they're getting better. And then the next day, wham, we're back down again. And you're confused because you're like, well, you were doing so well yesterday. Yes, yesterday was a good day because the pain was somewhat bearable. So I was able to get through that whole day, cleaning the house, running the errands. But we pay for it for several days down the road. We pay for whatever activity we did the day before. So we ask ourselves on a continuous basis every single day, what am I capable of doing today that my pain can tolerate, that my body can tolerate? And is it worth the pain that I'm going to have to experience for the next several days to come? Oftentimes, when we have a great day with our family, our kids, our friends, we think this is a great day and we soak it all up and we want to enjoy every single bit of it. But in the back of our minds, we're thinking, was this worth it? Was this worth the pain that I'm going to be experiencing? So just because one day we're down and the next day we're running around like a chicken with our head cut off doesn't mean that the illness went away or that it got any better, because it's not going to get better unless you find the course that works for your loved one, finds the course that works for them. But this illness is not going away without certain treatments. And your loved one deals with this every day and they feel like a disappointment. What can you do? Like I said, you can show them understanding. Let them know they're not a burden. Do a couple of extra things, even if they're light little things, that will take some weight off of your loved one's shoulders. When your loved one is resting and they spend all day resting and binge watching movies or shows on Netflix or TV, they're doing exactly what they need to be doing right in that moment. They're not being lazy. They're not doing nothing. They're doing something, and that is replenishing and charging their batteries. And that sometimes is just as exhausting as getting up and doing what we're supposed to do every single day. The littlest of tasks can help your loved one, whether it's running to the store, doing a chore around the house, and doing it because you love the person and because you want them to have some stress taken off of them. If a person that has fibromyalgia can be still and lay and not worry about 50 million other things going on, the much faster your loved one is going to be able to get up and continue with life. You can always ask them every day, what is the number of your pain today between 1 and 10? You would think that wouldn't do a whole lot, but what that does is you are recognizing every day that your loved one's in pain, and you can ask them, what's your pain scale today between 1 and 10? And it happens quite frequently on our support group. What pain level are you at today, so that we can help support each one. Some day might be a 1, some days might be a 10. And trust me, when your loved one is to a 10, it's just horrendous. And they're doing the best that they can every single day. Every single day, my boys, who are 21 and 18, come to me and say, Mama, is there anything that I can do for you? They call me, Mama, is there anything I can get you while I'm out? And there were lots and lots of times that I felt guilty for my boys doing that. But I then realized that they love me and they know that I'm hurting. And they know that it would take everything in me to get up and go down the stairs and get what I need. And they just ask me every day. My husband comes home from work and asks me the same thing. How's your pain today? How are you doing? Is there anything that I can get you? Anything that I can do for you? And you know what? If you're the person living with fibromyalgia, don't just say, no, there's nothing. There is nothing you can get me. If there's something that someone can help you with, give in and let them help. They love you. They want to help you. They want to see you have some sort of relief. As a supporter, you can also go to doctor's appointments with them. Research their illness, research fibromyalgia, autoimmune, anything that your family member is living with, research it. Be well read in it and arm yourself with the knowledge of what they're going through. You may not be able to experience their pain, but you can read about what they're going through. You can go to doctor's appointments with them and sit and listen to the doctor, offer suggestions, ask questions, because more than likely your loved one with fibromyalgia is probably going to forget what questions they wanted to ask the doctor, and you would be so helpful in doing so if you read up on it and asked the doctor the questions that you'd like to ask. Be their advocate. Let the doctors know that person dealing with fibromyalgia is not alone and they have someone in their corner. And that will send a good message to doctors as well. Just love the one that you love with this illness. We are coping the best way that we know how. And we just need people on our side. And it certainly did help when my husband started watching videos and started reading articles. He better understood, because fibro is a complicated illness with tons and tons of symptoms. And we just need support, patience, and understanding. So I hope this video helped you today. I would love to know how you support your loved one with fibromyalgia. Comment below. Or if you're a fibromyalgia warrior and you're watching this video, comment with what kind of support that you need from your loved ones and let us know what can help. Just a quick second, subscribe to my channel by clicking on the little round circle with my face on it. You'll get notifications when new videos come out. Please share this video and don't forget to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know how I'm doing. And I appreciate you joining me today, and I'll see you next time.